back.
Oh, yeah.
Soul is dead and is never coming back.
What do you mean?
Yo, we're down to a three-person campaign.
What do you mean? We can't be doing this to Soul. You know we can't. Not from his last ones. I will die on this hill.
No, we love and miss Soul dearly, and he'll be back soon.
Yes.
This session, even, hopefully.
Yeah.
Presumably? Hopefully? He said he would be. So.
Soul goes, what can you not do to me?
We're gonna kill you.
Stop!
No, like in real life.
I'm gonna get banned.
Don't worry, your character will be fine.
I'm gonna get banned on Twitch.
No. Sorry, in game? Wait, no. In a different game?
Oh, God. Alright. Don't worry, I have backup plans. Oh.
Oh.
In case I do,
murdered?
in case I do die in a session.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Man, I love this music.
Good. Gotta have a different vibe in a new area. So last session, you guys explored the night market a little bit, ran into Echo's special boy, and discovered that he has a little sister named May.
No.
Who doesn't usually talk, but she talked to Echo a little bit.
Little baby, I love her.
You guys
shared some fish.
shared some fish. You guys met Owaka and got sort of a book back. We'll send it. It's fine.
Yay.
Rory got totally ripped off and bought some paper birds from an overpriced magic shop.
He got ripped off.
Huh?
Oh no.
Homer found some fandom content. We had Timber agree to do what he can to help keep an eye out for a rally while the party's off exploring. And we left off with you guys kind of splitting up. Homer ran into some street kids who told him to go to a place called the Cog and Wheel to look for drugs and for a good time.
Drugs.
So I guess we will come in with Echo and Gurn. You guys have been heading southward. And as you've been walking, sort of getting further away from the night market, the streets get not all that much less crowded. Still more people just sort of around than you would have really seen even in the more crowded parts of the Solar Court. Both of you give me perception checks.
Ooh, I need to get my thingy, my chingy dingy.
Let's get this kicked off. Get all stuff up. Get your character sheets warmed up.
Oh, it on fire. Perception?
Yeah.
I need better glasses.
See, as I've asked this of you, I've also had the realization that I don't think either of you would actually know what you're looking at here. You both notice on a lot of the buildings, they're kind of all over the place. These sort of weird oblong, sort of rectangle boxes that seem to be sort of rotating around, shifting occasionally. Some of them are static. Again, your characters wouldn't know this. It's security cameras. There's a bunch of them this side of the river.
Oh.
Watching you. And as you make your way south, the buildings start to get sort of taller. The buildings themselves start to get nicer, but the sort of vibe gets a little bit tenser as you start heading south. Instead of people just kind of hanging out on the street corners and whatnot, there's the awkward shifting away as people approach, the occasional shout from someone getting riled up, some people stumbling around drunk or on something and sort of shunted off out of the sight of the main streets here. Still a good bit of trash on the streets, but that's been kind of constant. So yeah, are you guys just kind of heading straight south from where you crossed over?
Yes. If Echo sees any homeless people, she will give an apple to them.
Okay. Yeah, you'd probably find I mean, kind of hard to know. There's not many people just sort of straight up like begging or anything. There's no, your typical signs asking for help or anything like that. But you do see some people kind of just chilling off in down alleyways, up against buildings. As you leave the sort of residential area, there's more people who look more sort of severely down and out.
Mm-hmm.
But you would probably have no trouble just approaching and handing the apples off. But the most you'd get is maybe a weird look. One or two might turn you down, but
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna assume like her apples don't really last that long, huh?
you had a bushel, right?
Yeah, I don't know how much a bushel is though.
Yeah, let's find out. Oh damn, that's more than I thought.
Yeah.
You're looking about 120 medium-sized apples.
Oh my god, that is
So
a
you've
lot.
got like a fucking full-on like sack. I imagine you're kind of carrying it backpack style of apples here.
All right. Okay, good.
In hindsight, probably should have charged you more for that. I didn't realize.
I can.
Don't worry about it.
I can lower like 1 gold if you'd like.
No, that's fine. So yeah, you actually would not be going through them too quickly. You've got quite a number of apples there, so.
All right, cool.
And eventually, as you do head south, right about here, for anyone looking at the map.
Ooh, 1 moment. Oh yeah.
And you'll come upon a sort of break in the buildings. Um, Again, not that your characters would really be aware. At the most, I would say, Echo, you might the architecture around here might remind you of some of what you may have heard or seen pictures of developing in America around your time.
Hmm.
Particularly New York City, some of the very first skyscrapers you would have heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they seem fairly common here. Not the skyscrapers that we know of, but that sort of, Empire State Building
Right.
height being the tallest. Um, Not actually that big if you've ever been there, comparatively speaking. But as you get to this sort of intersection down here, um, you'll see a break in the buildings. And there's a sort of open park-like space um, with 6 black marble monoliths sort of arranged in a circle with a couple benches and whatnot around the area. Seems pretty empty. Just kind of 1 or 2 people hanging around.
Yeah. Are they like creepy looking, do you think? Or
Are you guys approaching? I mean, it's a bit ominous,
oh, it's ominous.
but not. It's not meant to be scary per se. If you'd both like to give me an investigation check.
Oh no.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, I can tell you the obvious part. As you look at them, you realize that engraved onto all 6 of these are thousands and thousands of names. Each one being probably about 7 or 8 feet tall, 3 feet sort of wide.
I think these are people who have been lost.
For one thing or another.
Echo will just kind of trace her fingers over the names for a second. Give a big sigh and look down at Gurn. I don't think I want to linger here too long.
Gurnal could just kind of stare at one of the pillars.
Echo just reads like some of the names until she's ready to kind of move on.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, sort of looking over them, nothing particularly stands out to you. I mean, there aren't any that you'd recognize. Um, yeah, after a bit, no one really. It seems like while there are people sort of sitting in the streets and whatnot, despite the fact that there are benches here, it seems like for the most part, an area people tend to avoid. Um, Now you are kind of at an intersection here. Are you continuing straight south?
Uh, Probably. She's probably,
Okay.
like, what her plan is probably go down Commercial Street, and then take a Yui basically onto the other street, and then go back up, I guess.
Okay.
Um, as we kind of like walk away from the pillars, Gurn will go. After you see a lot of that firsthand, it all kind of becomes numb.
Have you. Uh,
Too much.
were they all trying to kill you, or.
Very few of them.
I'm sorry.
No, I can't say some of them didn't deserve some of it. But most of them just had shit luck.
I suppose you could call it that. I haven't dealt much with death of others, anyway. Um, well, I can't say that. I lost a few of my girls, so. Hmm. They were too young.
They always are.
Echo fiddles with the rings on her, neck.
So you'd see Gurn constantly fiddling with his revolver, like rotating the barrel with his thumb. Just the occasional click of it slotting in to the next one.
Well, I'll do everything in my power for it to not be us.
It already should have been me many times. I don't really worry about it anymore.
I'm glad it wasn't, though. I'm very glad to have met you, Gurn. Even if it is under weird circumstances.
He doesn't say anything. Just kind of like half staring off.
She kind of enters just a comfortable silence between the two.
Okay. As you two continue south, yes?
Yeah.
We will cut back to our good friend Homer Bomb.
Ooh.
Homer, I believe we left off with you heading to attempt to find the club that the guys told you about that you found.
Yeah, I mean, he gave me directions.
Yep, pointed you off in the direction. So is that where you're heading?
Yep.
All right. You would probably be getting there around the same time as Homer and Kern would have been getting to the memorial. About the same distance, just in the other direction. As you head down the street, you give me a perception check.
Ooh. Perception. Oh,
Fuck, dude.
damn. Low rolls, guys.
Well, you would have known what they were if you noticed them, but you don't notice them, so...
Dude, he's thinking about drugs. He's just been
He
on
wants to get
alcohol and
fucked
weed.
up.
Like, he's not fucking paying attention.
Honestly, this part of the city is probably similar enough to... aside from not being kind of, like, dilapidated and, like, half blown up, I imagine. Pretty similar to the kind of environment you'd be used to.
Definitely.
As far as the sort of more modern urban kind of sprawl. But yeah, you travel down that way for about a mile, as the kid told you. And eventually you will arrive at the Cog and Wheel. As you approach, there's a good collection of people sort of milling about outside. You can hear music sort of dully thrumming through the windows and whatnot. They have a neon sign in the window of a cog overlaid with a whiskey bottle.
Ooh. Let's see. Uh, he's walking up to it. He's probably gonna start faltering in his steps as he's getting up to it. I mean, it it it's been a long. He's in a like the fantasy side of town that he was on. He's like, oh, this shit's cool. This shit's fun. This shit's unique. But this is like calling really close to his adolescence that he doesn't that has a lot of holes in it. So he's kind of like just not subconsciously like faltering in his steps as he gets up to the bar. Um and he is gonna take a healthy swig from his bottle in front of the bar. I don't know if that is gonna do anything, but he's not exactly being discreet about it. Or just so you know, um, and he is gonna take a minute to try to get the vibes from the bar. Like, what's the music? Is there anybody standing outside smoking? What does the crowd look like? Is there a bouncer?
All right, give me an insight check.
Inside.
Yeah, the first thing you notice as you kind of hesitate and take a look around, something that, given your perception roll, you missed upon approaching. You realize a lot of the people milling about outside, who you're sort of standing among at this point, a good portion of them are actually robotic in one way or another. Some of them looking more like the sort of steampunk automaton kind of style. A couple of them, if you've seen the Tesla AI robots that they're prototyping, kind of looking like that, sort of more cyberpunk-esque.
I see.
You do see a humanoid, looks like a half-orc, sort of traditional half-orc appearance from the fantasy books and whatnot. Smoking a cigarette, leaning up against the sort of brick wall off to the side of the door. Doesn't look like there's a bouncer or anything. Pretty chill vibe, honestly. It's kind of speakeasy, sort of jazz club vibes, where everyone seems pretty laid back. There's a lot of sort of casual conversation, sort of mellow going on. And the music you hear coming from within the bar is it's steam powered giraffe. It's like steampunk.
Fuck yeah. Okay. Sweet. I mean, I like that. I think Homer would think it's interesting. I think he'd like the jazz elements more than anything. He's gonna look. Upon realization that he's surrounded by robots, he is gonna try to remain chill, but he's definitely gonna have a lot more tension. And do you remember the name of the dealer that the kids gave by chance?
Give me a history check. Let's see.
God
if
damn it! History.
It was
Oh
Indy.
boy, Indy. Okay, sweet.
They recommended attempting to get him to give you the time of day, as they put it.
The time of day. Okay, hold up. I'm gonna write this down. Because much like Homer, I have a bad memory. Okay. So he's gonna kind of shuffle through the little light crowd of automatons, and he is going to make his way to the half orc that, despite you would think he's you would think that he'd be more comfortable around technology that he's familiar with, but no, he's not. So he's gonna go to the fantasy looking person. What's the half orc's vibe?
Vibe check.
Kind of off on his own. Sort of not really acknowledging as you approach, but just kind of in that way that, you do when you don't really want to particularly talk to anybody. He doesn't seem aggro or anything, just kind of chilling.
Is he smoking?
Mm-hmm.
What's he smoking?
No, you wouldn't need to roll for it. Just a normal cigarette.
Okay. Homer's gonna approach this guy, and he's gonna try and, a fluid movement to get his glass pipe out of his nose and like hack a bowl quickly. He's coming for a tradesies. What's up?
No, go ahead.
If after doing that, he's gonna kind of take a short little hit while standing by this guy, and as he exhales, he's gonna be like, "Hey, got an extra square for me? You could have some of this ganj."
He'll kind of raise an eyebrow at you a little bit, shrug, and handing you a cigarette will go. You can just take one, man. It's all right.
Oh, thank God! I hate this shit. He kind of like spits on the ground and goes, "Bleh, bleh, bleh, bleh," and then with a grateful nod, takes the cig and lights it with his shitty little crack lighter. And he will, after a few hits, he's like, "So, I'm not exactly from around here." And
Who is?
what was that?
Who is?
Oh, is it not typical to live in these parts?
I mean, we all live here, but none of us are from here. Thought that's what you meant.
Ah, oh shit, yeah, everybody does just get zapped into here. There's seriously nobody from here? Like, born and raised? What the fuck is this place, man?
The guy kind of shrugs. I think there's a couple left. I don't know. All on the other side of the river, as far as I know.
That makes sense. What about you say? You wouldn't happen to he kind of gives a discreet look around, leans in a little bit, an indie around here, would you?
You see both of his eyebrows sort of go up a little bit, and he gives you kind of a almost confused and also bemused smile. Indie, as in like the indie, and he sort of thumbs a point back to the bar behind you guys.
Yeah, the indie. I'm looking for a time of his, as the kids say. He wiggles his eyebrow and gives a toothy smile.
I don't know what they put you up to, man, but he's singing right now, so you can wait till after he's done, I guess. Doesn't usually talk to people all that much, but he'll come out to the bar at least.
All right. He kind of takes another glug from his bottle, and his big ass moonshine bottle, and then he'll kind of like stick it in front of him, and he's like, "Want some free booze?"
He'll just kind of like give you a little dismissive wave, like not in a rude way, just like a nah.
Homer will shrug. Let's see. Homer's just gonna kind of stand there awkwardly for a second, and then he's gonna be like, "So, do they just play jazzy shit here, or ever got any sex, drugs, and rock and roll?"
Yeah, on occasion. They mix it up every now and then. I mean, Indy's not the only one who plays, but
He'll nod. He'll nod. How's the is there a scene here? Like, are y'all trying to? He kind of scratches his head. He's feeling a little awkward. These droids got him feeling awkward. This not being able to procure drugs quickly's got him feeling awkward. And he's just gonna drink more.
um, the guy kind of gives you a bit of a confused look. And just kind of doesn't really respond.
Man, how are the how are the chicks out here? Are they chilling? Are they all droid like?
I mean, you could find a droid if that's what you wanted.
No.
Just about anything on this side of the river. I mean,
All
you
right.
got
Well,
some real freaks around here, and he kind of like looks off in a direction. You can't really see what he's looking at, but sort of weirdly pointed.
at this, his interest peaked, and he kind of is shaking off his little like initial awkward demeanor, and he kind of like gets a little excited look on his face. Freaks, tell me about those. what kind of freaks we're talking about, my man? Like sex freaks, punky freaks, druggy freaks, clown freak.
Why would you do this to me?
He takes kind of a longer drag of his cigarette. You ever seen a 7-foot tall praying mantis person?
Homer Bum will raise his eyebrows and be like, I mean, maybe a couple times on DMT, but I don't think in the fleshy flesh, man.
Metagaming. So meta.
What?
It's so meta.
What is?
Talking about D&D in a D&D game.
Oh, I meant to
I
say
don't think that's what he
DMT.
said.
DMT.
Hey.
I think Homer would
That's
have
fair,
played
though.
DMT though.
I thought you were making a meta joke.
I will at some point, probably.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's some weird shit in the world I'm from, but nothing like this place. Tell you what.
He cocks his head curiously. So, where are you from? Is that something you can ask here?
Yeah, you can ask. Probably won't mean much to you. I'm from a planet called Terrell. You ever heard of it?
No.
Yep. That's well, it's actually one of the slightly more common ones here, with Arth being the other one.
Arth.
Cool. Is, yours got trees and water and shit, or other weird stuff?
Man, where are you from that trees and water are weird? The fuck?
Well, I don't know, man. I'm traveling with this little lizard guy who's from like a desert planet that doesn't have trees, and the trees have eyes in it. I'm not trying to assume anybody's Earth gender. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Yeah, we got trees, we got water, we got dragons, if you can find them. Kind of rare, but they exist.
He'll like whistle impressively and give a nod. Man, damn, so many people from so many flowery, fantastical planets. Meanwhile, my planet had fucking AI that would steal people's art and went on to eventually blow up the whole goddamn world. And y'all out here with fucking dragons and shit. God damn. Oh, so jealous.
He'll kind of laugh a bit. You can tell he's sort of starting to relax a little bit. Um, Let me guess, you just got here last week, huh?
Shit. Your folks also read people's minds. You can read me like a book, doll.
Everyone's the same when they come in, all starry-eyed about everything. And, well, there's always something new, but a lot of it gets old fast.
Yeah, this side of town definitely is quite old for me. Shit like this doesn't lead to anything good in the end. I mean, neither does the other side, but it's a lot more dragons and magic and shit, I think.
You been to the other side?
I have. It is quite stuffy and quaint, however, actually really pleasant. Just the whole stuffy, rich king's vibe kind of puts me off. What have you not been? Oh shit! Yeah. You haven't been over there, have you?
Nah. Been to the night market, about as close as I've gotten. Heard enough about it to not really give a shit, to be honest.
Yeah. It's certainly a whole lot of kind of gestures in the air. Less air pollution. Like, man, how did things get like this fucking cyberpunk shit over here? Like, you know anything about that division? These cities?
I mean, I don't know the history of it. I've only been here for about 87 years. He'll kind of give a sort of ironic smile at that. As far as all the stuff over here, I mean, lots of stuff comes in with people like us, you know? When the intakes happen, it's not just the people that got brought in, but their knowledge of how to create things, different types of magic and techniques to build stuff, I guess. All kind of coalesced into, well, any kind of gestures.
Homer will have like a sullen look on his face. So you're telling me that vast, different races across the fucking multiverse come together to recreate fucking Earth capitalism? He will like throw his arms up in a fit of rage and scream to the heavens and pull at his hair. He is distressed upon the realization that it happened again.
Oh no.
Give me an insight check.
I'm not being too loud when I act, right, guys?
No.
No,
not-
I love
Not
it.
on our end, as long as whoever, if there's anyone with you, is all right with it.
I'm enjoying it. I love the acting.
I love the drama.
The drama's very good. Yeah, you see, even as you kind of lose your cool for a bit there, it doesn't seem to really phase the guy. He just kind of gives you a sort of understanding grin. Yep. Guess that's how it played out, huh? I don't really know what you got going on your planet, but if it's like the other arts I've heard about, I think a lot of society is pretty similar, buddy, unfortunately.
He will look after after he goes, he'll mellow out, look sunken, hollow look in his eyes, hit the bottle heavy. I don't know where the bottle is at this point. I think he's had it all day and a half. This is like his second bottle that he's drinking.
Are we still on the second, or did we just start the third? I don't remember.
Notes.
I haven't been keeping notes on Homer's drinking habits. I apologize.
Oh, no, it's he's on his second bottle, but he's probably at the end.
Yeah, checks out.
Yeah.
Also, last time you took your pills was last night, or
Yes.
Okay.
Right? Wait.
I believe so. I feel like that's what we said last time, and you haven't taken them.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you'll definitely be starting to feel shitty, but on the plus side, you are also starting to feel very drunk. Yeah, you notice your outburst. Honestly, didn't really draw like any attention. The people who have been hanging around really no lull in conversation or anything. They just kind of reaction.
Good. In response to the orc's kind of last comment, he'll like apathetically nod after drinking his big swig and be like, "Well, anyways, hey, what's your name, buddy?"
Okay. Hang on. One moment, please. We're buffering. We're loading.
Loading.
Name's Barul. How about you?
Homer Bum.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Hey, I'm gonna go in and catch the rest of the set here and get the time of day. But if you see me around, feel free to say hi. And I'll probably got. He rubs his hands together excitedly. Some goods on me, if you know, catch my drift.
Well, yeah. Good luck then.
Homer will head towards inside the bar.
Right. You enter, and it's pretty much what you would expect of a sort of typical music centric bar. Long bar off to one side, being tended by an automaton bartender. Small stage kind of in the back. You see a band of 2 or 3 playing with a automaton singing. It's pretty crowded. Lights are sort of low, but not like dark. Just mood lighting, you know.
He'll Where's the bar in relation to the stage?
So when you walk in, the bar will be kind of immediately on your right. And the stage will be sort of forward in the back of the room, sort of up against the far wall.
Are there
But
like
it's not too big of an area, so.
okay? Are there like tables and like seats around?
Yep, yeah, there's obviously a bunch of bar stools lining the actual bar, and then there's a good amount of tables. Mostly just like two-person seated, kind of little square tables, but scattered about.
He'll take a seat at the if it's available. He'll take a seat at the end of the bar closest to the stage.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to find an opening just fine. Give me either an investigation or a perception check.
I'm gonna go with investigation. I feel like I'm always perceptive.
All right. You will notice, much like outside, a lot of the patrons in here are robotic in nature. With that being said, a lot of them, the few that you see actually nursing drinks, the drinks seem to be not anything that you're familiar with. It looks kind of like a black sludge, in oil per se, if you will. One or two of them are nursing what looks like could be just sort of a whiskey, some kind of brown liquor. But you see, for the most part, a lot of the automatons don't seem to really be imbibing. While they are sitting at the bar and the bartender does seem to be interacting with them, there's not much in the way of actual booze going around.
He has kind of a even more like tense, disturbed demeanor by all the robots around him and the oil they're drinking. But I imagine he's trying not to let it show on his face too much. But he is kind of fiddling a little bit with his patches, pockets, and mouse friend. He's kind of sitting more, instead of pivoted towards the bar, he's more pivoted towards the stage.
All right. Yeah, watching the stage, you'll see I can show you the automaton that you're looking at. One moment.
Ooh.
This guy's got art. If I can find it. No, that's taking too long. Okay, that's the picture you're getting.
Oh, cool. He's so pimped out, dude.
I like his hat. Their hat. The hat's the best part.
And yeah, as you watch, he's singing, doing the whole thing. You notice a lot of the sort of vibe of the songs are almost lamentful in a way. Sort of in again referencing the steam powered giraffe. A lot of lamenting not having feelings, questioning the existence of synthetic life versus organic life and whatnot. bit melancholy, to be honest. It's kind of a bummer, but and as you sit there after a minute or two, you'll hear a voice from behind the bar go, "We are a new face. Can I help you?"
He'll swing around, legs in the air. Or wait, is it a swingy bar stool?
One of those little the little circle ones.
Yeah. Well, regardless if it's swing or not, he's still gonna swing over to face the bartender. And they're an automaton, correct?
Yep. He's kind of similar to Indian appearance, the more sort of steampunk look. You can tell after a moment of watching him move. He actually doesn't have legs, he just kind of rolls around on a big wheel, which is fun. And he would like to take your order.
He's gonna hesitate for a sec and try to keep a neutral composure, despite feeling very on edge. And he is going to be like, okay, yeah, new face. Gotta change him out every day. Anywho, do you got any alcoholic liquids on the premises?
You got your basics. You'll see him kind of glance at the bar back. See him kind of scan through a couple things. Well, we got an open bottle of whiskey, rum, one of vodka. Don't got any fresh anything to make a mixed drink with. Oh, I do have a bottle of wine somewhere I could open.
He'll nod, and then he'll kind of like snort at the mixed drink comment. Oh, who needs girly cocktails? You just chuff them down like nothing. Could I get a double whiskey, please? Or actually, he wouldn't say please, just double whiskey.
The automaton bartender will give a nod and roll off. And after a few minutes, he'll come back and place your drink in front of you.
And how much soul rot and gold silver form will that be?
Paying in gold?
Yeah.
Let's see. That'll be 5 copper pieces.
What's one silver do?
1 silver will get you another of those.
Sweet. Can I get another?
Sure thing.
He'll slide a silver over to the automaton.
He will take it from you. You'll see him slip it through a small slot into what you can see is a locked safe behind the bar, and then he will bring you another of your double whiskey and set it down.
He'll attempt his best to shotgun one and hardly drink the other.
All right.
He'll turn back to watch the rest of the show.
And as you do that, we will cut back to... Actually, well, if you're here and ready, Soul, we can cut to Rory.
Yep, I'm here.
So Rory, I believe you sort of hung out around the market until your time was about up, and then made your leave, discovering that um, with the bracelet, fairly easy. You just kind of go back in, and bracelet disappears, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what do you want to do?
Currently, he's just walking back. Um, I believe he wanted to. I kind of wanted him to stop by. What was that store? Would any of the stores be open actually at this point?
Um, it's later. It depends on what you're looking for.
Um, the Life in Bloom one on the way back, or is it too
Oh,
late? Another flower store.
well, it's right by your house, so you could certainly check.
Yeah.
Are you taking the teleporter back to the southern quarter?
Actually, he's not. He decided to walk.
You're gonna walk. Okay. Um. So with that, give me a survival check, if you
Oh.
would.
Was
See if
not
you
expecting
get
it
lost.
to. You know, there's fun in getting lost. So let's see.
Yeah, I mean you find your way fine. You know, general directions, the general kind of way you need to head.
That's good, because yeah.
As you were walking, it is closed, but you do pass a bookstore. Um, that apparently you guys have found before. I don't remember that being on the map. But yeah, you pass Storybound, little bookstore. It's closed right now, but it's there. I forgot that you guys have apparently already seen it.
I was not aware we saw that. I was like, "What is that?" And then
Now
I'm like,
you
"What is-"
have.
I
was
think
like,
it
"What is
was
that?" Let me-
mentioned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think someone maybe told you where it was.
Okay. Oh, because we asked about stuff. I was like, "Let me walk back. Maybe Cole mentioned that because I don't know what that is."
Yeah, little
Okay.
bookstore. Looks cute. Have to stop by sometime during the day.
Hmm.
After probably a couple hours of walking, because you are headed like a good 5 or 6 mile walk. I think you're looking at here.
Yeah. Rory just wanted to see the city on his own.
Yeah.
So.
You do notice as you sort of head out of that area, sort of around the night market, and head sort of southern, the city kind of becoming more residential. It's something you probably would have gotten the vibe for that first day when you wandered around, but sort of seeing it again. Um, and as you head down into the southern quarter, taking a bit of a detour to sort of come back at a different angle so that you walk past the flower shop. Um, and it is closed, but the lights are on, and you see a woman in there sort of cleaning up. Sort of either hard to tell, either human or elven. Blonde hair. Give me a perception check.
Ooh.
You also
Rory.
noticed she is heavily pregnant. Big belly.
Oh.
Kind of struggling as she's moving some of the plants around.
Can Rory knock on the? I was gonna say window. Is there a window?
Yeah, so the front of it is like the storefront windows, and then there's also the door itself has like a glass pane.
Yeah. So Rory's gonna knock on the window, hopefully not startling the lady.
You see her kind of look up, put down what she's holding, and make her way over. She'll open the door a bit. Good evening. We are closed, but can I help you?
Rory kind of like shakes, kind of scratches the back of his neck and goes, "Oh, sorry, miss. I just happened to be walking through. I kind of noticed you were struggling a little bit, and he kind of sighs and breathes in. Oh, forgive me for assuming, but you wouldn't happen to need." And he stops and goes, "Help, right?"
You'll see her give a smile. Oh well, you're sweet. No, I've been doing this on my own for over 500 years now. I can handle it. Thank you.
Rory
Though.
Roy gets taken aback when he hears the word 500, and he goes, and he kind of like tries to be discreet about it, but he puts his hands to his mouth and goes, 500 years being pregnant? Just kind of muttering that to himself. He's like, well, oh, I'm sorry for intruding. Um, I, I, I mean, with someone who, you look tired. I was walking by. I mean, I'm short, but like, he's just kind of flailing at words. If you don't need help, I'm just gonna go. And he kind of awkwardly backs away and kind of turns around slowly to walk away. And yeah, so
She'll
he
kind
walked
of
away.
hesitate for a moment as he turns, and as you start to take those first few steps, she'll go, well, thank you. I mean, very sweet of you to check. Stop by during opening hours sometime. Why don't you?
Rory then stops and remembers why he wanted to walk past the flower shop in the first place. Oh wait, actually, can you answer me a question before I walk away?
She'll kind
He
of
kind of
give you a curious look.
There's a specific flower I'm looking for and wondering if you guys have it.
You'll see at that she kind of perks up a little bit, looking curious. Well, do you know what it's called? Can you describe it?
I mean, it's a really, really big long shot. It kind of looks like a cat's tail, if you know what that is. But the flower itself is called whisperweed. He kind of extends it long, wondering if anyone knows what that is.
You'll see she kind of looks thoughtful for a moment. I don't think that's something that I carry here, unless it could be known by a different name. But you could stop by the Green Island greenhouse, the Arboretum, if you would. They keep, well, as far as I know, a collection of every plant that's been brought into the city there. So, if it exists, that'd be the place to find it.
Rory's eyes kind of glisten a little. The Green Island greenhouse? Is that what you said?
The official name is the Arboretum, but you ask for the greenhouse, anyone will know what you mean.
Yeah. He's like, he doesn't have a map, so he's writing down the name of it. The Arboretum, you said?
Arboretum.
Arboretum.
Burrito.
Ooh, now I want burritos. Stop it. Arboretum. So I'm gonna. He kind of just jots that in his notebook. Well, thank you, miss. He kind of bows. He's like, I will sure to stop. Sorry, I just saw lightning at my dumbass. I'll be sure to stop by tomorrow. Kind of do want to know about the other flowers you have here.
Well, I look forward to it. And she'll give you a friendly smile.
And he kind of bows and waves and turns around to keep walking home.
She'll wave you off and go back to what she was doing.
While walking the rest of the way back, Rory's kind of muttering himself. He's like thinking. He goes, "Ooh, I don't know how long they'll be gone. I wish I had more ways of communication before this happened. Kinda wish Echo told me she was gonna go and leave. Kinda wish that everyone didn't go with her." He's like, "Why did I stay?" And he's just like repeating stuff to himself over, like, "Why did I stay?" I'm like, "It's for Rally, but like." And then in his voice, he kind of like stops and he kind of just clenches his fist. He's like, "I know why, but it still doesn't feel right totally to just not go with them. It's too late now, though." And he kind of just clenches his fist. I got more work to do. Gotta find more things. And he looks towards where the wall area that they point out. He goes, "That wall's up there for some reason. And if I need to get back to them, there's got to be more ways to communicate than just..." He fiddles around in his pockets, feeling the paper birds. "Well, I can't wallow in my decision now. Gotta keep going." And he's kind of heads home.
Give me a perception check as you approach the house.
Uh-oh. Okay, Rory, you're doing good. You're doing
Yeah,
good.
good rolls tonight so far. Not
Oh
gonna
no,
lie.
I hope I didn't. I
Um,
hope I didn't jinx myself.
I had to go and say something there. Fuck. Yeah, as you sort of um come around the slight bend, the flower shop is on the same street as you guys, just a little bit down a ways. So as you come around the bend and you can see your home, you see a person peering in through your windows.
Which window is he looking through?
One of the ones kind of on the front of the sort of by the front door.
Is it the left or the right?
It would be on the right, so technically the window into Gurn's bedroom.
Oh. Oh no, wait, hold on.
Well, someone's gonna die.
Ooh, can
You see
Rory
as
do an
you-
insight check there for a second?
Yes, good idea. As you kind of hesitate and watch, you see he's kind of like up on his tiptoes, sort of in the not like hedge, but like the little like line of sort of grass. I imagine is like in front of your windows type of thing, city style little like strip. Sort of up on his tiptoes, looking in, and after a second, kind of falls back on his heels, and you see him sort of take a couple steps, looking around the side of the house, sort of just like almost as if he's looking for something or just snooping.
Oh, is this a child?
No.
Oh no. So, can... So, is Rory aware of the age of this mysterious person?
Yeah, with that insight, looks like an older human male.
Okay. I'm like, they're short. How can they not reach into the window?
No,
But-
he's not incredibly short.
Oh, so
It's
he's
just
just
more
kind of
of a-
crouching.
Sort of standing in
Oh, gotcha,
the
gotcha.
grass kind of thing.
How tall are those windows? Now, I never thought about it, because Rory climbed in and out of it earlier. But Rory's only 5 feet tall, so...
It'd probably be the type of thing where like
It's like waist height, I'm
you-
guessing?
probably a little
Maybe
bit
a little
higher
bit
than
higher.
that.
Oh.
Probably
So,
waist
like,
height,
Rory-
like from the inside, but from the outside, it would be a
Higher
little
up.
bit like higher up.
Oh, damn.
So
Rory, you took a
climbing
jump
in,
out
you
of the
probably
window
have
then.
to like sort of put your arms up and kind of clamber in.
Can Rory do a stealth check?
Sure.
Oh, I have to go beat a 17.
What are you trying
Ah.
to do?
What happened?
What are you trying to do?
Rory was gonna sneak up and just kind of go, "What are you doing?" But I don't think that's gonna work now. He's just gonna walk up and try to sneak up and say, "What are you doing?"
You get pretty close before the guy, presuming, sort of hears one of your footsteps or something. And you see him whip around, wide-eyed. And he sort of looks you up and down, and then goes even more wide-eyed. Oh, good evening. I was just, well, I'll be on my way then. Good night, sir.
Rory
He'll
kind of
start to
reaches
walk
out.
off.
Rory reaches out and goes, "Hey, not so fast!" and kind of grabs the guy's hand. He's like, It's kind of important you tell me what you were doing here." Rory kind of goes,
Um,
"Especially since looking in my friend's window."
He'll hesitate for a moment, looking a little conflicted. Um, and then go, well, as as host of Truth Seeker FM, it's my duty to investigate happenings going on around the city, and well, you are quite the happening. I mean, not you individually, I suppose, but you,
Rory kind
colloquially.
of, Rory kind of slightly grips the man's hand a little bit harder, and he kind of looks at him and goes, "Truth FM?"
Ah, yes, of course you wouldn't know of me yet. My name is Neil Hawthorne. I'm radio host. We bring the truth to the people, verified with our own eyes and our own equipment. Um, are you out of character? Are you wearing your badge? Rory does, right?
Rory does. It says it's on for.
On his collar.
He's not wearing his normal outfit. He's wearing the other outfit right now. Where did I
The
put
new
it?
one.
Yeah, so it's the little dot above the moon. That's where he's wearing it right now.
Gotcha. You'll see his eyes kind of lock onto that and not react too much, but you see almost a look of like I don't know how to describe it. Like something has been confirmed for him. Let's just say.
Can Rory do an insight check?
Yep.
Oh, damn it, Rory!
You had to say something.
I had to say something.
Are you looking for anything in particular with that? Or...
He was trying to see how, I guess, honest the guy was trying to be.
I mean, he seems sort of as taken aback to be running into you as you do to run into him.
Rory kind of keeps a firm grip on the guy's hand and kind of glares him down a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit. And he's like, and then his eyes open and goes, "So you're a radio host, you say?"
Yes, sir. The leading informative radio show in the city, and well, one of the only ones. But
Rory kind of keeps his grip on him and is like, "Hey, so like, I'm about to go eat inside the house. Do you want to ask me questions?" He kind of like looks up with his eyes, but like his head tilted down.
you see him go a little wide-eyed. Oh, I mean, if you're offering, certainly, I would love to. You have time for an interview now?
Rory kind of like goes, oh, you know, I mean, I have time to spare. While looking side-eyed at him. But you have to promise you gotta keep holding my hand.
Okay.
Excellent. So, just follow me. I'm gonna let us in the house, and you, sir, are gonna sit at the dining room table while you talk to me. In his head, he goes like, that doesn't sound weird at all.
He looks a little nervous, but he plays along.
Okay. So Rory kind of, while holding the man firmly with his hand,
Firmly
walks over to the
grasping.
front door, and oh no, tokens are not here. No, you guys aren't actually here.
Hang on.
Ah, I've been deleted.
Yep.
So Rory kind of walks in and goes, come, while dragging I'm guessing an older, taller man. Come, follow me. We're gonna kind of sit at this dining room table, and he kind of pops at his own seat while still holding onto the man's hand.
He'll sit beside you, still looking increasingly more sort of confused and slightly uncomfortable, but he's still eager enough to go along with it. So
Rory kind of looks at him like, relax, with his other hand. And he's like, don't worry, there's no harm here, there's no foul. But looking at him like kind of sheepishly on the side, unless you think there is.
What?
Ooh.
Hang on, 1 second. Why do I have that open? Okay. Fuck. Let's see. You see him. He looks a little bit nervous, but he goes, "Oh no. I mean, certainly not."
And Rory just puts a cheeky smile. See, there's nothing to be afraid of. Look at me, I'm barely an adult. He kind of just like smiles really wide to the guy. It's like, now
Ooh.
and he holds it with his hand with both his hands. Now your first question.
He'll blink a couple times in sort of rapid succession. Right. Well, I see it's true. You've really been hired for the real department. And he kind of gestures at the pin you're wearing with his free hand.
Rory kind of puts one hand to his mouth and goes, "Oh, is that why you're asking about us, or peeking around the house?"
Well, you're the first new employees in 400 years. That's a bit of an oddity, and looking into oddities is my specialty.
Rory kind of looks at him and goes, 400 years, you say?
The only other member of the real department who was hired from the Taken residence was good old Cyrus. I suppose, unless you count the robot, but he was built, so.
Rory kind of looks at him and is like, the robot counts. In like a different tone than he normally talks in.
Well, he's an employee.
But Cyrus, yeah, Cyrus is a hoot. Fun man. Very interesting.
And have you met all
Rory
the
kinda-
other members of the department yet?
Rory kind of puts his hand to his lips for a bit. Goes, I'm at a good chunk. Who do you want to know about?
Well, I mean, I'm. Have you been in the clock tower yet?
Rory tightens his grip a little bit more, subconsciously. No, but would you like to tell me something about the clock tower?
Well, that is admittedly one of the areas I know the least about. It's the most heavily guarded place in the entire city, at least as far as I've found. Can get into almost anywhere else. As he says that, you see he kind of hesitates and then gives you a bit of a nervous, sort of sheepish look. Anyway.
Rory kind of perked up at what he just said, but he'll wait.
Well, is it true that you just arrived? This last event?
Rory kind of looks at him and goes, define just arrive.
Well, you arrived in the last intake event just a couple days ago?
Oh, Rory kind of goes, oh, and then nods.
Fascinating. And the four of you, do you all have some kind of abilities, or
Rory
you
kind
seem
of looks
kind
at
of
him.
like scrutinizing you a little bit?
Rory kind of looks at him and is like, how do you know there was four of us?
Oh,
How long
well,
have you been watching us?
I haven't been watching you, per se. I just... Well, it's a big deal. Someone arriving in the city and suddenly being granted an important government title is not really something that's ever happened before.
Rory kind of looks at him, a little more suspicious. Can you do an insight check?
Sure. What are you looking for?
He's trying to find out how much this man actually knows and how observed they've been.
You get the feeling that it's more about knowledge of the department on sort of a general scale and not necessarily you guys specifically.
Rory's grip relaxes a little bit, just a little bit, and goes, he kind of leans in, he's like, you are not following us, right?
Oh no, to be completely honest, I assumed that you all would be off, and well, I was just in the neighborhood, so he kind of awkwardly clears his throat. But no, not following you, certainly not. Just keeping up to date on the happenings around the city, you know?
Rory kind of relaxes his grip a little more, and then he kind of just looks at him with like a, I guess, skeptical gaze. And he goes, hey, I love answering questions and playing around as much as the best person, but I kind of need to know, you're not trying to find out anything bad about us, are you?
Well, if you have bad things hidden away that happen to be uncovered in my investigation, I deliver only unbiased research. So...
Rory kind of glares at him. He's like, and he just goes, the people here are not bad people. And trust me, I know bad people. But, and he starts ranting about how Echo is like the most warm-hearted lady he has ever encountered, and how motherly and concerned he's met in a lady in his life, and how sweet she is, despite how nagging she is. And he goes on to talk about how Homer is such an eccentric old man, but is very fascinating to watch, and he feels obligated to make sure he doesn't go insane. And he talks about Gurn, but then he kind of draws a blank for a second and realizes Gurn's always there, and it's weird that he's not always here. But Gurn's a good guy, just a little trigger happy. Then he realizes he set himself up bad. But
the whole time... Sorry, continue.
And then he just goes like, But none of these people have done anything bad. If anything, I'm probably the worst one of all of us here. And not because I want to be.
The whole time as Rory's sort of ranting about this, Neil is watching with a kind of enraptured look, taking it all in. And as you finish, she goes, "Oh well, no, certainly. I don't have any reason to suspect that you all would be bad people. I mean, Tyriad's generally a man of good conscience and rational decision making."
He just
The-
kind of glares. He kind of softens his glare on him when he says that, but still tightens his grip on his hand.
The most curious aspect about you lot is just how quickly everything's happened for you. I mean, even Cyrus was here for a good 15 years before getting recruited, as it were. And, I mean, not that you guys have been here long enough to really show off any skills or latent abilities or whatnot, but to be fair, Cyrus was building a sentient robot when he got hired, so it's just a little strange that for seemingly random, completely new faces would end up being the pick.
Rory kind of taken aback by what he says, kind of lets go of the guy's hand and goes, "So that fast, huh?" And Rory kind of looks sad at that statement. He's like, I know you're asking me questions, but can I ask you something?"
Sure.
Let me just be frank with you. None of us know what's going on. We don't even know why we're hired for this. And I'm sure anyone who's watched us be going around the city kind of looks at us and goes, "That's a weird group of people." We don't even know each other, and a lot of us were alone prior to this. And, I mean, we don't exactly totally vibe well. So I have no idea what they're expecting from us. I don't even think majority of us had a job prior to this. They're good people. They do seem like the people who want to help. But I wish I could answer you why we were picked. I don't even think we should have been picked.
Fascinating.
But Rory kind of looks down and kind of looks up at him and he's like, "But it makes me worried that maybe," and he kind of doesn't want to say what he wants to say, but he's like, he just goes, "We're not expendable," and he just kind of says that out loud.
Well, I would be surprised if that was the reason. Throughout the entire history of the department, unless they've been quite good at covering things up, well, they've only ever lost one. Expendable isn't really the name of the game for Shadowbane, as far as I'm aware.
Rory kind of just crosses his arms. The whole thing in general doesn't vibe well for me, though. But I feel like I'm the only one who feels that way. You mentioned I haven't been to the clock tower. Something about the clock tower gives me uneasiness. And he kind of looks at him. And I won't lie, a lot of people here make me feel uneasy.
Well, as for the other people here, most people in the city are generally good-hearted. As for the clock tower, well, that's another story. How much do you know about it, and about the thing that's up there?
Can Rory do a history check?
Sure. You remember some stuff.
Can Rory do a deception check?
Sure.
Oh god, where's deception?
Alright, what are you saying?
Rory kind of just fidgets and goes, in all honesty, it's not as memorable as I want to try to remember. That being said, I barely know anything except what I've been finding in books, which is, he kind of puts a pinching finger symbol in his hand in the air.
Yes, there aren't many about the department in general. At least, not in the library. I imagine most of what you want is in the tower itself. That's where the department's archive is. Well, you probably knew that already. See, the rumor, and what I was hoping to find out from you, but it seems like even the other members of the department don't know what's going on. The rumor is that the administrator, Tyriad as it were, that he's been taking orders from the thing that lives up there. The timekeeper, they call him. It doesn't strike me as true, but you guys are odd.
Rory kind of grips his pants very tightly and just breathes out a lot of air at the same time. Deep breaths, so to speak. And goes, hey, I mean, if you, at this point I could say you know as much as I do.
Well, you've only been here for a few days.
Yep.
I'm sure you'll be granted more clearance as things process.
Rory kind of looks at him and is like, well, can I ask you honestly what you think about what's going on?
He'll kind of look off for a second. Well, to be completely honest, I'm still working on formulating my theory. But I have reason to suspect that there's more going on here than anyone in the city suspects. The real department's always been an anomaly. And now that they've almost doubled their staff out of nowhere after almost 500 years. Something's going on, and I'm not sure what, and I don't like it. But I'll get to the bottom of it. And you can help me.
Rory
What do you
kinda
say?
cocks
You
his
help
head.
me, I'll help you. We can exchange information. As you find out more, I'll keep you up to date with what I find in my investigations. And he kind of like taps the side of his glasses.
Rory kind of looks at him and is like, your name again was?
Neil Hawthorne.
Rory he looks intrigued, but he kind of looks at him right into his eyes and goes, hey Neil, do you think I'm gonna die?
Statistically unlikely. At least in relation to your work. Your department does have a pretty good track record, like I said.
And Rory goes, you're not lying to me?
Well, I mean, I can tell you, throughout the 500 years of the real department's history, only one person's ever been lost.
Who was it, if you don't mind me asking?
It was a dragonborn named Errol Umberscale. He just passed away a few years ago, around the same time I arrived in the city. Tragic accident from what I heard, but a lot of it's kind of hush-hush. It was one of those zones.
Roy kind of looks at Neil a little bit more and goes, I'll only help you if you do a little favor for me before I fully agree to help you.
And what's that, my friend?
If you can help me find a way into the lunar court, I will be willing to share whatever information I find later.
You need to get into the lunar court?
Roy kind of slowly nods his head. I can't tell you why, but I swear it's important.
Let me rephrase that. You can't get into the lunar court? They
Roy
haven't...
kind of shakes his head.
Well, that's curious. Perhaps the paperwork just hasn't been processed yet. As far as I'm aware, you should be able to go over there. I mean, everyone else in the department can. But
Rory, do another history check after you finish your
Sure.
statement. I'll finish
What are
statement.
you what are you history checking?
He's trying to remember because this is conflicting information that he knows, and I want to see if he remembers the information.
Okay, yeah, go for it. What information specifically?
That we're not allowed in the lunar court.
You don't know, man.
Rory's trying to remember, but it doesn't seem like Neil's lying. But Rory feels like he's been told that he can't.
Well, nonetheless, there are plenty of ways to get across the river. The harder part is getting back, but even so, there are plenty of ways to do that too. The most deadly of which would be trying to go through the Shimmerwood, so I wouldn't recommend that aspect. However, this is something that's sort of kept on the down low around here, if you know what I'm saying, but if you head north, outside of the city walls, there's a bridge, the last one sort of before you hit the edge of the, well, existence. It's in the farmlands, and it's under a different domain, as it were. The Field Corps maintains that one rather than the Patrol Guard. They're a little more lax, if you catch my drift. A lot of trade happens up there. People come back and forth for a lot of reasons. That'd probably be your best bet.
Rory kind of nods and goes, well, I mean, that's a good starting point, then that's a good starting point. But he kind of puts out, he puts out, I guess his pinky and faces towards Neil. And goes like, he kind of waits while staring at Neil.
He will enthusiastically hold out his pinky as well.
He clasps his pinky with Neil and goes, I, Rory Benito, promise to help you. But and then he kind of grips it with his hand and goes like, you hurt us though. And then just kind of lets go of his pinky.
I can assure you, my new friend, that this partnership will be a boon to both of us.
As long as what you've been telling me is truthful, I have no reason to not want to help you.
The truth is what I do, my friend.
I will say, though, I can give you information right now, but don't tell anyone because it's for our own safety.
Oh?
But it's for your benefit, he says.
Do go on.
You know that window you were looking at earlier?
Yes.
Yeah, don't touch it.
He'll kind of look sort of between you and then sort of the direction the window is in. you see kind of understanding come into his eyes. And of course, I mean, I would never attempt to forcefully enter your place of residence. That would be ridiculous, of course.
Rory just kind of has his hands next to his face and you're like, "Oh, it's not that. I'm just telling you, don't touch it, for your own benefit."
Understood.
Well,
Well,
Neil, if you have
to
any more questions, he kind of just stands on the table.
I don't have questions per se, but I do have a few warnings for you in exchange, I suppose, for your kind advice. Looking a little nervous again. Um, two things really. Two current investigations that are underway, and I'll admit I don't have all the info yet, but I'll get there. The first part is there's cult activity going on around here, particularly in the old ward. That's why they're all on edge. I've discovered it's called the Cult of the Undying. They worship some idea of a being that is in charge of keeping us here, keeping us immortal, the eternal life aspect. I don't believe anything like that is supposed to actually exist. I mean, unless you count your friend in the clock tower there, but either way, it's keep an eye out. If you go out at night, be careful. The rumors
Rory,
are people have been going missing.
Rory kind of nods in concern. Well, good to know.
And the second thing, there's something that, well, say what you want and laugh what you want, but the evidence is, it speaks for itself. There's a dragon here somewhere, in the city with us. Lurking, I don't know what it's planning, but it's here. Keep an eye out for it.
Rory kind of looks at him. Dragon?
An ancient one, by my calculations, capable of hiding among humans.
Rory kind of goes like, he wouldn't happen to be yay tall, would he? He kind of just kind of puts it down like towards like halfway through his body.
Doubtful?
Does he wear a hat?
I don't know. If it is taking a human form, I haven't discovered any information that might suggest who it is yet.
Rory kind of takes a big sigh and goes, "Oh, okay, it's a human-looking dragon, okay?" Ooh, that's reassuring. And Rory just kind of realizes that wouldn't be reassuring, but he'll say it anyway. So, evil cult of the Undying and dragon is what you had to tell me, the warning-wise. He kind of looks at him.
Watch your back.
I'll be sure to let my companions know.
He'll give sort of a sage nod.
And then he's like, "Well, if that is all, I do have one last question for you, Neil."
What can I do for you?
He kind of just puts his hand to his cheek. I want your opinion. If you look at me, do I look like I'm someone who's easy to attack? He kind of just looks at him like with big eyes.
He'll kind of like sort of lean in, narrow his eyes, sort of looking you up and down, mulling it over, sort of scrutinizing you for a moment. Well, physically, you're on the slighter side, which gives you an advantage in dodging. However, you don't seem particularly threatening. Hmm, I would say maybe.
Rory kind of just slumps real down, like, oh man. I know they were saying it don't look that threatening, but that's concerning. He kind of wails a little bit. So the advice of really not going out at night is to be taken with at least. He puts his arm up and down and like gesturing.
Well, I don't know if any of them would be eager to go after a figure as notable as yourself. I mean, the newest shining stars of the department go missing. It's going to be quite the upset. Draw a lot of attention, you know? I mean, I imagine the type of sacrifices they're looking for are more people who won't be missed. New people, people who haven't settled in yet, people who maybe don't have any loved ones yet.
Rory kind of looks at him, goes, but doesn't everyone not have loved ones here for the most part?
Well, not when we first arrive, but you can always form new relationships.
And this cult is only centered in the old court, you said?
I have reason to believe they may have sectors all over the city, including both sides of the river. However, haven't been able to confirm it yet. I know the old ward is where a lot of these sightings have been centered, and I mean, even walking through, you can tell they're certainly on edge about something.
Rory goes, kind of puts his hand toward his chin. He's like, that explains why it was so quiet and why there were guards around all night that one time we went through there. He says that out loud.
Yes, it's certainly become a rather grim part of town recently.
Very different from the other parts of town, I will say, Neil.
Well, it's always been different, but not like this.
So you're saying it's not normally quiet and people peer out the windows while the lights are on?
The quietness is normal. It's sparsely populated. A lot of those houses are empty, but the people who live there are paranoid now. It's become tense.
Empty, you said. Well, I shouldn't be keeping you away from your... He kind of just rolls his hands. But feel free to stop by again, I guess. I'll make sure to let the others know we have a new friend. He kind of just leans back in the chair a little bit.
It was a pleasure to meet
And
you,
kind of-
young man, and I look forward to exchanging information with you. And he kind of gives you a sly sort of look.
And Rory kind of just stretches and goes, yeah, you too. And kind of cheekily smiles. And I'll walk you out. And he grabs Neil's hand again and kind of rushes him to the door.
He'll give a wave and a nod and then sort of just quietly turn and walk off.
Rory kind of just waves, like, well, until he's not in view. And then kind of, when he sees not in view, he goes, crap, 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 crap. He's like, oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. He goes, crap, paper bird, and he goes to that table, writes, found a way to Lunar Court, north bridge on it, and he kind of he kind of goes, "Give this to Echo, like Echo, Echo, Echo," and he kind of like lets the bird fly, lets go of the bird and let it fly, and hopefully, and he goes, "I don't want to go now," but he goes to follow the bird.
As you sort of watch, you'll see the bird flies up. It's kind of hard to keep sight of it because it is dark out and it's just a little tiny origami bird. Give me a perception check as you sort of watch it fly off. Oh yeah. You see it fly eastward. At a pretty sharp upward angle. Sort of seeming to imply maybe there's a way over the wall. But you would lose sight of it before really fully seeing its full course of flight, as you aren't
Right.
exactly living that close to the river. So
Yeah. Rory goes, "Damn it!" He takes out another paper bird, and writes, "Meet me North Bridge," and he writes this down 3 times on 3 different birds, just in case. Daybreak or morning, daybreak/morning. And he writes important.
I believe that would leave you with one last sheet, right?
I had 7 birds, so they gave 3
How
to
m-
Echo, and I
Okay,
just used
gotcha,
1.
gotcha. Okay.
And I used 4, so I'd have 3 left.
Yep. I thought for some reason I was thinking we split it half and half, but gotcha, cool. Okay.
And then he whispers
Uh,
1 to Echo, 1, and then lets it go. Whispers 1 to Gurn, and lets it go. And whispers 1 to Homer Bum, and lets it go.
You see they all follow kind of the same general course heading up into the night sky. And with that, we will cut back to Echo and Gurn. As you two continue heading southward. As you head down what you are now on officially Commercial Street, you'll see this part of the city is both more, I guess I can't even say modern, but just futuristic. It's still smoggy, but some of the grossness sort of is swapped out for pristine shining metal and neon lights, and the streets are still full of trash, but things are a little less fossil fuel and a little more electricity.
It's
in this
shiny
part of town.
trash.
It's shiny trash over here.
It's shiny trash.
Damn.
Yes.
Can I have the old music back?
Which one you want?
The one at the beginning.
Oh, I didn't realize I forget I have it set to swap when we go back to the house. Yes.
Whoopsies.
Oh, you're good. There we go. Sorry, mood is back to where it should be now.
Ba-ba-dum.
Yeah, and as you're traveling, this part of town also a lot more commercial. Pretty much every street corner has a little shop. Speaking of which, give me an insight check, both of you guys. Well, Echo, you will notice, as you're walking, sort of each block you passed, there's a corner store on every corner. And you notice fairly quickly too that at least in the northern part of the city, while there were corner stores, they were a little more few and far between, and a little more what's the word that I'm looking for? Sort of more variety. Now that you are down, sort of getting into the commercial zone, you'll notice for the last good 20 minutes that you guys have been walking, every single corner store has had the same name, Virago, in neon above the entryway. All seem to just be kind of little general grocery store type corner store places. Y'all ever been to a bodega? You know what I mean.
Well, that seems a bit excessive.
And as you two, I keep saying you all, it's just you two. As the both of you continue down, both of you give me perception checks. As it's also becoming significantly more crowded. And as you sort of travel through the rather crowded streets, you come to a scene where something's clearly sort of going on. There's still, a crowd of people, except everyone's sort of stopped, all sort of looking in a direction. And you hear some commotion as you approach. A woman's voice yelling about something, sounding quite disturbed and frantic.
I guess Echo will probably rush over.
All right, you rush through the crowd, sort of slipping through in between some of the people who have gathered, watching whatever's going on. And as you come to the edge of the sort of spectacle line, and you see in a clearing in the street, there is a large robot man, one of the more sort of sleek, again, thinking Tesla AI robot kind of look, sort of black visor, white plastic-looking shell body, and it has police printed across its back, and it seems to be dragging a woman away, kicking and screaming. And as you sort of step out from the group of people who are sort of watching this, she locks eyes with you, and you realize that the woman also is in fact a robot, very different looking. While the police bot is made of sort of plastic and black glass, the woman is made of what looks like copper, sort of a more brown metal, again going back to like the steampunk style of things. A little less sleek and shiny and a little more sort of personable looking. And as you step out of the crowd, she locks eyes with you, and screams, "Please, my baby, don't leave him here. They'll scrap him, please, please." And as you sort of hear that, one of her arms, she's able to kind of break free from the police bot's grasp and points, and you follow her finger to where you see what looks like a small child just kind of laying crumpled on the ground. And almost immediately as that happens, the police bot regains full control of her, and you see she's tossed into what appears to be a sort of metal, horseless carriage looking thing. And the crowd starts to kind of disperse as things sort of quiet down. And you see no one really approaching the child.
Gurn, grab the child. Are they still there?
No, as you pretty much heard her screaming that as she was getting shoved into the police car.
But are they still like, there, or did they drive off?
I would imagine it's starting to drive off.
She hopes Gurn does as she says, and she starts to like run towards the police car. And she, like, if she can, she will knock on the hood of the car. Excuse me.
You do that, and as you do, it does not stop, and just kind of not. It's moving extremely slowly at first, so you just kind of get sort of shoved out of the way. But it just drives off. There's no response. What is Gurn doing?
The second she said that, Gurn just dashes off and grabs the thing, the kid.
Okay. Yeah. As you run up to him, sort of I imagine put your hand out, sort of grabbing the shoulder, shifting him. You'll realize the kid is also a robot, and he seems to be deactivated right now.
I mean, yeah, Gurn will grab him and continue, like, just kind of running off in a direction.
Just a random direction, right?
Probably in the same direction we were originally, like, walking.
Okay. Give me a athletics check.
Oh, I misheard you. I thought you said fabletics check. I'm like, what?
How fabulous are you doing athletics?
Yeah, despite this kid being like notably taller than you, you're able to carry him just fine. Start heading off.
The kid is taller than 3 feet.
He's probably like 3'4" or something, 3'5".
Oh, okay.
Gurn's only 2'6". Echo. Yeah, fuck it. Give me another perception check. You are able to kind of keep a half eye on Gurn as you try to get the attention of the police vehicle. You see him kind of heading off in that direction. Probably able to follow him just fine.
She, in disbelief, like, will watch after the car and sigh heavily and like start. I want to say she is not floating; she is running after him.
Okay. Also, I will say with that perception check, as you sort of take that moment of, the car is driven off, sort of getting your bearings back before rushing off, you will notice all of this happening outside of what looks to be a office building, but it's gated off. And you see New Moon Robotics printed on the building.
She'll probably take a look at the building for like a second and then go off to find Gurn.
Yeah, you're able to catch up with him just fine.
How's the kid?
Looks dead.
Uh, uh, let me see. How do you check vitals on a robot?
That's a good question.
I guess you'll start poking and prodding.
All right, give me an investigation check. As you kind of look him over, you see what looks like could be a control panel on his back, sort of under his clothes. As far as getting it open, you have no idea how to even start going about that. Otherwise, as Gurn said, he does just kind of seem dead. There's no sound, there's no sort of indication that anything is really operational.
Where do we even go with this?
I mean, Colonel kind of shrug. Is there any like visible damage or even like scratches to any of it?
You give me an investigation check.
Oh boy, I'm great at those.
No.
Yep.
That's
That
like
sounds
negative
about right.
1.
Yes.
Oh, that's like the first bad roll I've seen from Gurn.
Don't worry, that's my second lowest bonus.
Negative 1 is your second lowest?
Yep.
Oh boy.
I have
Wow.
stuff that has a -2.
I don't even know where to begin with this.
Gurn will cast Mending like once or twice to see if it even does anything.
I mean, it goes off, interacts with him. You'll see probably a few like sort of, well, Gurn wouldn't with that investigation check maybe, but Echo, you would see some kind of surface scuff marks, sort of general wear and tear kind of things, mend up, but he doesn't turn on or anything, just sort of surface repairs.
I found a robotics place back there. Or at least, I don't know what they do, but maybe we bring it back there?
Didn't she say somebody would scrap it?
Do you think that place would?
Shrugs.
I don't... Well... Well, I don't want to bring it to a place where it would be scrapped. It's like scrapping Winston.
Oh, Winston.
As much as I'm...
I mean, they all look like walking scrap metal to me, so.
Harsh.
Ooh.
I don't know the first thing about them, but they seem to walk, they seem to talk like us, like... It's not right. I might be scared of them, but... I don't know. I can't help but... I can't help but listen to a mother's cry for help. I will... I'm gonna go see about the robotics place. I guess... Be close? She'll stand up and go back to the robotics place that you mentioned.
Okay. Yeah, as you head back, the crowd's dispersed. Still a couple people around. Like I said, the streets are fairly crowded, but as you approach, you see it's a big sort of glass office, modern office building looking type building. Probably a bit of a monolith to you, Echo, given it wouldn't really be like anything you would have seen before, just kind of square like this. And as you approach, the entryway is gated off with like an iron sort of, almost not quite prison level security, but like pretty intense sort of gate.
Is there anybody like nearby? Like that looks like they belong there?
Not really. It's mostly just people, pedestrians, kind of milling about, wandering, heading to and from. There doesn't seem to be anyone like associated with the building that you can see.
It's all locked up, right? I can't go any further.
From the looks of it, yes. Are you trying anything?
No.
Okay. Probably smart.
Are there many robots around here?
Give me a perception check. Yeah, I mean, one or two of the pedestrians are robotic in nature.
She will go up to one of them and she'll bow her head and go, terribly sorry to disturb you. I seem to come across someone of your race that needs help. They're unresponsive.
The robot that you've gone up to, it has kind of a like screen, like computer screen style face, and it kind of, it doesn't have like any expression, just sort of a monitor, but it looks at you and tilts its head a little bit and then kind of shrugs. Yeah, pretty common these days.
Why is that?
Well, half the software updates those assholes pump out, and he gestures over to the robotics place nearby. They've been known to, what's the word you guys use? Brick a lot of the entities that run off their software. It's, kind of unfortunate, but
So,
I guess that's what you get when you stop paying for your warranties.
did you by chance see what happened with the a woman that just got carried away
Yeah,
by...
I saw it.
What happened there?
I mean, I don't know. I could take a guess. What I imagine is she stopped paying the warranty. They put out an update. Kid's system got fucked up. Distraught mother screaming at the gates. A bit of a nuisance, isn't it? So.
And how much is this software update?
Well, the updates, they just come. The warranties, I don't have one. I'm not one of theirs. I'm not from here. I wasn't built here, so I don't know. But from what I've heard, there's different tiers of protection, different types of fixes you could have them do. But a lot of us can't afford it, man. So kind of the risk you take when you choose to have a family member developed through them. Not something I'd do personally, but I guess I get it.
Shoot. How do you pay? I guess.
He shrugs.
That's never a good sign.
Can you tell me where the authorities have taken her?
Probably up to a holding cell. I mean, just public nuisance. Probably be a fine as long as she can afford to pay it. She'll be out probably in a day or two.
Where is the building?
Geez, kid, you know where the Star headquarters are?
I think it's on the map, yes.
Kinda east of there. Omniguard, you'll see it. It's kinda hard to miss. Anyway, you need anything else?
No, thank you.
He'll give you a nod and start walking off.
She'll go back to Gurn. I don't know what a software update is, but apparently this child needs it. I really, really wish I brought that money. But maybe if we find... If we can help the mom out, we can get the kid up and running again.
Gurn will just give you a shrug and pick up the body.
I think we have to go back up towards the Star headquarters.
That's not far, is it?
I can hold the body if you need.
It's like 3 miles.
Oh, jeez.
It is also probably getting close to midnight at this point.
I mean, I don't know what else to
Journal-
do.
Gurn will just sigh and be like, I'll let you know when I get tired.
Okay. I think Echo's gonna start doing what she does best. If there are any takers.
Are you...
She's probably gonna start selling her ass if, you know, just to start. What?
Are you staying in the area, or are you heading northeast?
I might have
Like
Gurn. I might have Gurn like stay sort of in the area. There's a lot of traffic here, but yeah.
Okay. So we'll cut away momentarily to good old Homer Bum.
Homer Bum turn.
Homer Bum turn. Damn, there's a lot of things a brewing
Lot going on.
session. Damn.
It's
Homer,
fun.
you've been sitting at the bar for a bit. Indy has finally seemingly finished his set and sort of just kind of disappeared off into a back room. And a new band comes out. More of a no vocals, just kind of more of a jazzy kind of thing going on.
You said Indy went off into a back room?
Yep.
How long has it been? Like did they just get off the stage and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. That beetle watch doesn't have any numbers on it, right? Like it's just the little beetle.
It's a functional pocket watch.
Okay, sweet. Okay. Upon seeing that the band left, um, Homer figures, having been a musician himself and vaguely, vaguely recollecting musician etiquette, he takes out his pocket watch and mentally kind of gives himself a he's probably not patient. He gives himself a 5-minute like timer on the pocket watch and kind of leaves it out in his lap. By this point, his drinks are gone. He is going to head outside to see if he can bum another smoke off somebody, keeping the pocket watch in his hand.
All right. Question as you do that: does Homer wear his real badge visibly,
Um,
or is he currently
he
missing?
wasn't there something last? No. He is still. Yes, he is still wearing it. Yes.
Okay. Okay, yeah. As you dip back out of the bar, kind of into the cool night air. Smoggy, but honestly, kind of probably comfortingly familiar to you. Maybe not comfortingly, but familiar to you. And yeah, there's not the same people, but there's still a crowd, as there tend to be outside of bars like this. You'd probably spot one or two organics, as it were, humanoids, smoking off to the side.
He is going to go and approach the organics. What do they look like?
One of them is a human. The other one, Homer wouldn't really know what exactly it is, as it appears to be a short, sort of 2 foot tall, little fluffy kind of creature with like big bat-like ears and big, wide, shiny eyes. Kind of looks like a weird walking hamster. And he cigarette.
Homer will kind of try to. He'll see this creature and he'll kind of quickly bring up a hand to his mouth, stifling a laugh. He tries to. He's gonna pass it off as a cough, though, as he approaches them.
Yeah, so it's there's actually 3 of them. There's the human and the little guy smoking. Then there is a robot hanging out with them. One of the ones with sort of the more computer TV screen sort of faces, except this guy, as opposed to the one Echo talked to. This guy actually does have an animated face, sort of LED style. He's not smoking, but he's just kind of hanging out with them.
Ooh. He's gonna walk up to the group and give as friendly a nod as he's comfortable. He's pretty drunk at this point, so it's more like an awkward, over dramatic dip of his head, and he'll be like, "Hey, any of you lovely folks got a square? I got some good ganj to change for a nice little square."
The 3 of them kind of all sort of turn to look at you. You see the robot sort of narrow his LED eyes a little bit. The human, however, returns your sort of friendly nod. And as you say that, you see their expression kind of shift to one of confusion. And they just kind of go, "What?"
Square, he kind of makes a smoking gesture with like 2 fingers pressed to his lips, and he's like, the smoking thing, the smoking. I don't know how to describe that, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. You do that, and he goes, "Oh, you want one?" And sort of holds the open pack out to you for you to take one.
He takes one and he nods. He's like, what do you guys call these babies here?" just Sigs, because Squares is one of the many nicknames for them back where I'm from.
Well, we didn't have these where I'm from, but yeah, that's usually what I hear. And
Oh.
you see the robot in the background kind of roll his eyes.
Yeah, this is the humanoid or human, right?
Well, I'm talking to you, yeah.
He's kind of gonna raise up his eyebrows a little bit, and he's gonna be like, "Well, you're pretty homo shot pan looking.
I
You
thought you were gonna just stop at homo, and I'm like, why would you just stop
actually wait? Can I? Thank you, Soul. Can I take that back? Can you actually stop at homo?
I say, I feel like regardless, as you say that, the guy is just gonna kind of give you a look like, what? And
Yeah, well-
you'll see the robot sort of raise an eyebrow.
You know what I mean? Like homos, like we live on planet Earth. Do you? I don't know, buddy. What I'm trying to say is you fucking look like me. What's your fucking Earth shit world like?
I'm not from Earth, but
Huh? Are you intergalactic, interstellar, pocket dimension, Euclidean, anti-materialist, motherfucker, alien thing?
Euclidean.
kinda actually. I'm from U-24, in the Beetlejuice quadrant. You know of it? And he kind of gives you like a hopeful look.
Can Homer Bum do a history check at a disadvantage?
Sure. What are you trying to remember?
If he can somehow remember what Beetlejuice is.
Sure.
All right. It'd be really funny if he did.
Granted the time period that you live in, I would say you may know of it because it exploded during your lifetime. The star.
There is a star named Beetlejuice. You're right.
And it's going to explode sometime soon.
Yeah.
Oh. Homer Bum with a look of absolute shock that the fucking gears in his mind in the memory sphere turned enough to remember that he's gonna like almost drop his smoke and gonna be like, wait, what the yo, whoa, oh my god, it's working. He kind of like smacks around on his head. Holy shit, you live on a fucking star, bro.
I don't live on the star. I live on a planet that goes around the star, but yeah, sure.
Dude.
He kind of gives you a smile, like he's happy that you at least know kind of what he's talking about.
That's real.
Homer kind of tries to shake off the shock at his old man drug hold brain actually computing some real facts. And he's like, oh, well, damn, that's a blast from the past straight into my ass. All right, well, he's gonna look down at his pocket watch. How much time would pass, would you say? Because he's sorry.
Probably as you've been talking and smoking, getting close to the 5-minute mark.
He's gonna he's taken long chuffs of the smoke. Well, damn, did you just zap here as well? Like fucking
Yep.
everybody else and their mom?
Yep. That's the story, isn't it?
Shit. Was your planet a shithole too like this stuff, or is this new to you? Are you more like the fantasy dragons and shit? Like yeah.
No, we don't have dragons or anything. To be honest, my place was kind of like this. nicer, in my opinion. Cleaner.
All right. So, Utopia, or y'all still got that money shit?
Oh yeah, I mean, we picked up the galactic currency in like Stardate 204 or some shit. I wasn't big on history, but
Whoa, dude, rock on. He'll kind of at the last of his smoke flick it away from the uh, people he's talking to. Well, my name's Homer Bum. I got a date with a robot. He says with a little bit of bitter, a bitter tone. With a robot that's got a nice time going on, if you know what I mean. What's y'all's names?
hang on 1 second. Hang on, please.
Sorry for Homer
No,
asking
okay.
about people's names.
We're good.
Now you know how it feels.
Not like everyone could just come up with names on the spot.
I just have to pull my notes up 1 second. The human will go, my name's Egner. This is Tolmesh, and this is Epsilon. And Tolmesh, he'll point to the little guy who's just kind of been silently smoking there. And he'll give you like a slight acknowledgement. And Epsilon, the robot, will just kind of roll his eyes as he's introduced and not really acknowledge you beyond that.
You said echelon?
Epsilon, as in the Greek alphabet.
The Greek letter.
I'll put it in the. Nope, that's not the
Right.
chat.
All right. Okay. With that, he says, "Well, pleasure to make." Oh, cool! You the spelling. Thank you.
Yep.
If you saw my notes right now, the spelling's pretty abysmal. He'll say, "Pleasure to make your acquaintances." Although on that, he'll kind of give a nod to the other people, but give a, maybe he'll try to make it an unreadable stare at the TV head, but it probably, there's probably a little furrow in his brow. And he will walk away.
Right? Are you heading back inside, or?
Oh yeah, he's heading to the back room.
All right. You will see as you approach, it does have a sign that says VIPs only on it.
Is there anybody watching it?
Give me a perception check. Yes, there's what looks to be a bouncer standing kind of near the door, with his eyes on you.
Robot or
Yes.
fuck. Homer Bum will mentally be like, "Oh god damn it, I have to talk to an AI shithead." He'll kind of like stopping kind of away from the VIP door. He'll sigh. He'll crack his back. He'll crack his. He doesn't like put his knuckles together in a threatening way. He kind of cracks his hands down at the side, and he's like, kind of softly mutters to himself, "All right, Homer Bum, you are good and lit. Turn that charm up to 69,000." And I was thinking either that or over 9,000, but
I mean, it works. It's just like that's a very Homer Bumism, and just like out of all the numbers, really that one?
He is going to approach the door with not only a swagger, but he is going to pull down the side of his outer jacket that has the real pin in it and set a confident look on his face as he approaches the VIP room.
As you do that, the guy sort of moves to step in front of you, holding up a hand. Hey, buddy, can't you read?
No.
Oh, hello there. Sure, I can read just fine, he says, putting all of the confidence he can muster on it because however, I am a very important person. He again kind of like, takes his jacket and kind of flusters it out a little bit, showing off the real pin.
Give me an insight check. You see the guy who has stopped you here. You see him kind of seem unimpressed for a second, and then you see his eyes kind of lock onto the pen, and he raises an eyebrow ever so slightly. And you see him glance in the direction of the bar for a moment, sort of exchanging an unspoken kind of thing with the bartender. And he'll go, listen, I can't let you back there without express permission, right? But you seem like an interesting character, so what do you say you wait at the bar and I'll go see if the star wants to see you, huh?
Can he vibe check that? Like do another vibe check, because would he have caught the look?
Yes, with the insight check, yes, you would have caught that.
Do I need to do another check to see the intention of the look? I mean, he is an automaton, so could he even read the vibes off him?
I was gonna say it's definitely harder. Some of them are certainly more animated than others. I would say, going off that same check is fine. You get the feeling that this guy certainly does find you interesting, but it's kind of hard to get a read on sort of the motive behind it, or like why, aside from the obvious pin being sort of something.
All right. Homer will kind of, give a polite nod and give and head over back to the bar. Sitting kind of where he sat before, where he's like just in front of the van that's playing.
Mm-hmm. You sit for probably long enough that you're starting to get real impatient and kind of irritated. And I imagine just when it's getting to the point where you're sort of starting to consider maybe doing something else, the automaton that you saw singing will kind of saunter up to you, give you a weird look, kind of stand there with his arms crossed for a second. And then he'll sort of silently, still just kind of staring at you, sit on a bar stool next to you. Well, what do you want?
Again, internally, not under his breath, but he'll be like, charm, 69 million. I need meth. And he will kind of lean onto the bar, his face in his hands. He will give the friendliest old man smile that he can muster, with his mustache crinkling out and shit. And he'll say, Hey there, Indy. You got the time of day? He gives him a wink.
He kind of stares at you for a second. And also, I will point out this guy, unlike Winston, whose face is rather static, his eyes are just kind of sort of LED balls. He doesn't have much of a mouth. Indy, however, is very animated, very human-like in his motions. And you see him kind of narrow his eyes at you for a bit. You see his gaze kind of flick down to the pin on your coat. The fuck? What do you need?
Homer Bum eye is going to twitch, and mentally he's gonna be like, oh shit, am I a fucking cop in this world? And he's gonna, recover himself, and he's gonna be like, listen, I just got here a week ago, and I've been perusing this side of town for some fun, let's say that. He kind of takes off the pin and, kind of makes a show of looking at it in disdain. And he's like, listen, all I want is some fun. I don't really know what this shit, he points down to it, is. All I know is it gives me some leeway in getting around here. Do you got fun, dude? Because whatever you think this is, if it's like a cop or some shit, trust me, I'm not gonna be a part of that. And to accentuate his point, he is going to swallow the pin.
Oh my god.
Swallow?
That's not gonna.
Yes.
Make me a Constitution saving throw.
That's not gonna bite us in the butt later, will it?
Okay. Yeah, so you swallow the pin, and you see Indy's face go from looking at first sort of just skeptical of you, maybe a little not hostile, but a little hostile. To as you're saying all of this, he gets sort of an offended almost look about him, which devolves into pure confusion and then a little bit of horror as you swallow the pin.
Oh my god. You're just confusing this poor robot.
And he stares at you for a second, blinks a couple times. Where the hell did you get that pin?
Oh my god.
You didn't pull that off a dead body, did you?
Oh my god.
Homer Bum's charisma is starting to slip a little bit as he is getting impatient. And he's going to be like, fuck, no, man. I didn't. I was given this shit by some twink. Yeah, some fucking Twinkie fairy looking motherfucker. I honestly couldn't really make heads or tails of the contract, so anyways, he's gonna kind of try to resume his charismatic demeanor. You got the time of day, my friend? Please?
Why does he keep saying that? I actually forget why that's a phrase out of character.
I think there was a slight misunderstanding, but it's very funny.
Oh, okay.
In that the kids he talked to last time said to try to see if he could get Indy to give him the time of day.
Oh, okay.
I think that's been taken a little more literally than was intended. He, again, just kind of almost dumbfounded stares at you. Kind of shakes his head for a sec. Listen, buddy, I don't... What the fuck do you want?
Homer Bum will kind of like lose his cool, not in a super rude way, but he will lean towards the automaton in a quiet but firm voice, be like, drugs, man. I want fucking drugs. Please, God. Meth, Molly, heroin, black tar, China White, something.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You see, some of the sort of more disturbed confusion kind of fades from his expression. And he looks over, exchanging a glance with the bartender, who just kind of shrugs. And he looks back at you, kind of looks you up and down, again. It's like, so, who the fuck sent you my way?
He'll sigh and kind of lean up straighter, maybe like pinch his bridge a little bit. And he's like, all right, well, I don't, what would he say? He'd kind of be like, man, just some fucking alley kids, dude. I get it. I'm just some fucking crusty up in your nice establishment and looking for drugs, but I can show you my track marks. I can show you them. And he goes to roll up his sleeve.
No, that's all right. Fascinating. You know, you don't know who I am, do you?
I know that you're some. Let me think about this. I know you're a guy named Andy, and you had the time of day, he says questioningly, i.e., drugs, and that you play in a. And he nods respectably. A pretty sick band. Yeah, you do really well, man. You make good tunes.
You see him like kind of visibly, sort of brighten up at that a little bit. Kind of a bit of a smugness about him to him. And you see, again, throughout this whole conversation, well, not since you've swallowed it, I guess, so never mind. But he keeps kind of glancing at where the pin was, sort of looking you up and down, sort of scrutinizing you. Almost like he's trying to figure something specific out, but just not sure what. And kind of leans back, looks you over. All right. Okay. You know what? Sure. Fuck it. Come on. And he'll stand up and kind of gesture for you to follow him.
Homer will quickly get up and then raise his little fist together and go squeak. Yeah. Like imagine like a little anime girl getting excited when her fucking crush like asks her out. He's like squeeing and his little fists are in the air and he's doing little leg movements. He's like and he will skip along and follow Indy.
He will lead you to the VIP door, and then right outside of it, he'll stop, kind of turning on his heel, sort of pointing a finger in your face a little bit. And he goes, listen, all right, I'll give you what you want, okay? But I have some questions for you. Fair?
Homer will kind of quirk up a brow, but the jive in his step doesn't necessarily fully stop, and he'll just be like, All right, buddy. You can have all the questions you want if I can have my drugs. He'll rub his
Drugs.
hands together at that.
Will you keep your fucking voice down? Jesus Christ.
He'll kind of do that thing where how do I describe it? He's like he puts his pointer finger to the side of his cheek and kind of twists his hands around, and he'll like move his head in a giddy little smile, and he'll be like, "Whatever you say."
That doesn't read
he'll,
except old man. I don't know what will.
he'll lead you through the VIP door, sort of down a hallway, and then into a room. And as you enter, you'll come upon an interesting scene. The room itself is just kind of your typical sort of backstage. There's a couple couches, some chairs, there's a small sort of coffee table in the center of the room. And in the room, you see a number of people, or I suppose more accurately, robots for the most part. Where the hell? Oh, there it is. I suppose the first one you would probably notice would be the robot that you sort of introduced yourself to outside. The TV head guy who was kind of a dick to you. Along with him, there's the little fluffy guys in here too. A large, sort of beefy-looking robot guy who, rather than any sort of head that you would expect, it's a glass dome with a brain floating in it and some kind of mystery liquid. You know that kind of vibe?
Yeah,
You're not
totally.
one of those guys in there. There's a robot who looks kind of a little bit sleeker, maybe more modern than Indy. More of the sort of plasticky look. Who looks miserable. They're sort of just slumped in the corner with their head in their hands. Sitting on the coffee table is a laptop with a face on it that looks at you as you walk in. And sitting nearby to the laptop is a little creature with a sort of like TV screen kind of snoot and sort of furry ears. It's a protogen. And they all kind of, aside from the one who has his head in his hands, kind of glance up as the two of you enter. And Epsilon, the robot that you met outside, sort of gets this frown on his face. He goes, the fuck is this guy doing back here, Indy? And Indy goes, shut up, it's a special occasion, alright? Just fucking deal with it. For like one night, please. And Epsilon rolls his eyes but doesn't say anything. And as he kind of leads you in, he'll gesture to a seat. Be like, well, make yourself comfortable. Go ahead.
He'll take a seat in a giddy manner, but probably like a little bit more like swagger, relaxed. Like the little anime girl chick has worn off, and he's still excited, visibly excited.
You sit down, and besides you, the little furry guy starts taking out a couple glasses, along with a very ornate sort of crystalline bottle, almost looking like the sort of crystal perfume bottles that they make, the really fancy ones. And he takes that out, along with a bottle of whiskey, a bottle of vodka, setting it on the table sort of in front of you. And as he's doing that, Indy sits down, sort of lounging on one of the couches nearby. And he kind of leans over to you a little bit, looking up and down again. So you expect me to believe you got here a week ago, you said?
Something like that.
and Tyr just hired you.
Yep. Doesn't really make much sense to me, but yeah, the twink shows up at the house I'm staying at with some of my roomies.
Give me an insight check. You do notice as you are saying that, specifically the part about you mentioning the twink, that Indy gets a little bit of a sort of smirk about him. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? And you just happen to find your way here, huh?
Homer will kind of keep on a friendly-ish facade, but his eyes narrow a little bit, and he's like, "Okay, what's your point? What you getting at here?"
No one from the department set foot in my bar for 323 years. And you being the first is that's kind of weird. And as he says that, you get the feeling he's kind of trying to stay sort of vague. But as he says that, you'll see sort of out of the corner of your eye Epsilon. As he is inserting a flash drive into his own sort of mainframe, he pipes up and he goes, "Indy used to fuck your boss."
Oh.
Yo! Okay, not in character, not in character. Yo! Yo! Oh my God, Quill, dude! Dude, have you told me this before?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Oh my God! Okay, I have. Okay. Homer bum, not Felly. Homer bum.
Get in character.
Jared is a robot fucker. Okay.
Homer bum will raise his eyebrows and kind of go, well, yeah, go figure. That checks out.
Indy kind of shooting Epsilon a bit of a dirty look. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw that pin, I was hoping you picked it up off of somebody, but I guess you being one of them is interesting for its own reasons.
He gives him a big toothy grin. Yeah, I know, right? Little old me. I stuff swords up my butt, inject drugs into my veins, and swallow cop pins. Yep, I sure make a good real agent.
He kind of gets almost like a cruel sort of grin at that, and sort of amused look goes, well, sounds like the department's really going down the drain. Shame. And you see a couple of the other people in the room just kind of roll their eyes. And as he sort of lets the conversation kind of dwindle there, you feel a slight soft nudge as the little guy next to you tries to get your attention and goes, "Hey, you want somebody?"
Boy, do I.
You a whiskey or a vodka person?
Whiskey all the way, my friend. Whiskey all the way. Brown juice treats my head and my cock better.
Did you say in your cock?
I did, or he
Okay,
did.
just
Yes,
making sure,
did
just
say
making sure.
that.
You see the little guy pours you a glass, sort of a, typical half glass. They are like whiskey glasses, so. And then he takes the very ornate, fancy bottle, unscrews the top, which you see is sort of like an eyedropper kind of situation. Leans over, puts a drop in your drink, puts a drop in his, and then sort of screws it back on and puts it away and slides the glass over to you.
He'll rub his hands together excitedly, realizing that there is something else mixed in. He's like, all right. I mean, I don't have much to contribute to this sesh, but he'll kind of bring out his near empty moonshine bottle and his little baggie of weed and kind of just throw it on the table, rub his little hands together, and shoot down the glass without asking what the fuck that was.
Very good.
No questions asked. Just drink and chug, drink and chug.
All right. Well, as the mystery effects of the drug that you just took kick in, we will hop back to, I believe, Rory.
Ready.
You doing anything else tonight?
Ooh, okay. Let's see. Send off the birds, correct?
Yes.
What time is it in the nighttime right now?
Close to midnight.
Shit. Since
Probably a
since-
little bit after at this point.
Yeah, since the guy has left and since Rory put out the birds, he goes like, I know they're supposed to, they're small and they take time to travel, but ooh, I hope they got them. He's been pacing around the house. He looks out the window and it's like, it's dark. Should I? Could I? How dangerous do you think it's gonna be? And then he thinks, well, how intimidating do I have to be? He kind of saunters up to a mirror in the house, in the bathroom. And he's like, Rory may not be intimidating, but maybe Rory doesn't have to go out tonight. Kind of looks at the veil, takes it off, and puts it in his pocket. And then goes into his room to change into another outfit, which is more like his old one, but like slightly different. He puts on his mask and ties up his hair. He's like, the veil's with me. As long as I make it to the northern bridge, I can wait there till I need to. So he leaves his hand crossbow at home alongside with the old clothes. Or no, his newer clothes. And he sets off, but not as Rory, but as someone else completely, towards the northern farm country.
Okay.
It is nighttime, right? So
Yes.
yeah, so he's just kind of, instead of teleporting though, he's gonna just run through the streets.
I'm gonna go walk the whole way, or I guess run.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's running.
I'm
He's also trying to, like-
debating ending it here.
Up to you.
Yeah, I think next week we'll pick up with Rory ? Getting to the Northern Bridge. Homer and Gurn. Well,
Echo and Gurn.
I guess Echo whoring herself out.
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
And Homer getting fucked up by mystery drugs.
All good times all around.
Yippee.
She don't have no money to give to this lady that she'll need money for. How?
If only there was someone you know who was famous for creating and maintaining robots.
Oh my god, we do know somebody.
That's what my random intelligence check was for.
Yeah, I was
Well, I
kind
don't know
of
if it's all I
figuring
want.
that.
I rolled a fucking 4 on intelligence. And I was like, yeah,
Cyrus?
Gurn wouldn't think about the guy who made robots.
Wait, Winston's a robot?
You know,
I
after that,
mean-
I was thinking about why I was trying to remember why we can't go to the quarter. So I remember that was said to us earlier, but like at one point, I think, but we never actually verified if that's true. This is like the third time we've been told. What do you guys mean? It's you guys aren't allowed there.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't know what else to fucking do. So
I like that there's things going on. Oh, also, where did the birds go, Quill?
We'll get to that next session.
Dang it! Like the birds haven't no response at all.
Also, I have a because
Hey y'all, I just got gifted a fucking crock pot from my neighbor.
Ayo.
hell yeah.
You gifted a crock pot?
Yeah, my freaking my opposite neighbor just like came over to my apartment building, knocked on my window while it was Soul's turn, and was like, "Hey, I got a surprise for you." And I was like, I'm in D&D," and she was like, "Now come over," and I was like, "Okay." That was a great session though, y'all. There's so much happening.
Everything's kicking off.
I think this is the shortest amount of time that has passed in game in one session.
Oh, it's
so
been
far.
like a couple hours, yeah.
Yeah, we left the night market in the evening, and it's only been like what 2-3 hours.
To be fair, I think the first session still takes that that whole session happened in like an hour. But a lot of that was preamble, so
True.
No, but I actually love that so much is happening. But at the same time, it's like we're all separated
yeah.
and stuff. Oh, Neil made me so nervous. I'm like, do I trust
I
anything?
think
this
you
man
made
is
him
saying?
nervous too. The fuck?
That was the point. Rory,
It was
that-
good. It
that's-
was really good.
It's one of the things where like Rory's alone, he could show off a little more of the other personality he has.
I liked it. Also,
Dude.
a slight sketch that I made of the scene Homer walked into is in the art chat.
Rory can be fucking intimidating. I don't know, like those vibes sounded
was-
sounded
yeah.
intense.
It was really uncomfortable holding his hand the whole time.
That's what that was the point. I'm like, also like changing how strong you're like. Imagine just you having your hand held hostage and having a
Yep.
person like constantly change the grip style on it.
Yep.
I
Dude,
was
when we-
debating on. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, when do we get to see Psycho Gay Rory? Because that's the vibes I was getting.
Yeah.
I mean, depends if you guys. But this is potentially depends if you guys end up going to the Northern Bridge way earlier than Rory expects. But that would also require you guys to get Rory's bird.
Do the birds make it? Find out next time.
I have a thing I need to pitch to you, Quill, depending on what happens.
Okay.
So, but like, cause I'll pitch it privately.
Yeah, for sure. Go for it.
I did imagine at one point that like Rory literally grabbed with his one hand, both his hands. He's looking all sweet and innocent to him, and then he kind of just like death glares at him while saying something.
Oh yeah, horrifying.
Like the mood switch up would shock anyone. Also, I was very tempted to like let Neil just climb in through Gurn's window.
That wasn't the trapped one.
It was the
technically,
other
that he
one.
was. Yeah, so there's the one on the
That one,
right
that
there
Gurn
is
trap.
the trapped one. He was
Mm-hmm.
looking at the one on the front of the house here. Either way, though, still a yeah.
Either way, I wanted him to not be intimidated, thinking those windows are trapped regardless.
Yep.
It's
Also,
kind
that
of.
trap isn't armed unless Gurn's there.
That
Oh,
makes more
true.
sense, but you don't know that.
I kind of wish like Echo was there to see the guy peeping in, because oh my god, it'd be so funny. I have. Oh.
I was more tempted to sneak. If the stealth check worked, he was gonna actually go up to him and like kind of grab the guy's neck and goes, "What are you doing?"
Oh God.
But no, instead he got caught. So on the way there, like I've been waiting to put in out this variation of Rory, and I'm like, they're all around. He's lying to them.
I do like that Rory's on his own, just because we get to see that side of him a bit.
Just a little bit, not fully, but just a little bit. And that one was fun. I'm like, I have so many things I could do with it, but I want to be. But he also like. At one point, I was actually thinking like, if this goes south, Rory's ready to take this man out. They won't know.
I don't want to get on Rory's bad side.
No.
You guys don't know.
Literally.
Yeah, but when he realized Neil was harmless, he went on a full tirade about the people. But he also was like, "Don't you dare!"
The little
I mean, and who
rant
doesn't
about
want that friend?
everyone was really cute.
It was very cute.
It's so cute.
I kind of felt bad. I'm like, shoot, Rory does not pay attention to Gurn. What does he say here?
And Gurn
do-
is
Not
there
here right
all the
now.
time.
But he's missing his presence. I will say that
Yeah.
he is missing Gurn's presence.
I do love the idea of like he goes to say something about Gurn, realizes he doesn't really know Gurn that well, goes to kind of subconsciously look for him, and then like, oh yeah, he's not here right now. Shit.
Been a running thing at this point where every time something happens, he's like, "Where's Gurn?" And Gurn's like, "I've been here the entire time."
Right here, still.
Oh my god, the road, the fucking little backroom scene.
That one made me laugh. I'm just imagining in my head, if I'm being honest.
And yes, the robots are using USB sticks to get high.
Is that what that was?
Yep.
I was wondering if like he's just updating his systems for a bit.
1 second. Hang on. Just gonna restart real quick.
Mew.
Huh?
Mew.
Yeah.
Power down.
Voodoo. What's gonna happen to Homer?
Oh god.
I was so ready. I'm like, someone in this session, they're setting it up so that multiple things can happen. Quill's setting it up so one of us is gonna something's gonna happen to one of us, and none of us are gonna know. I was like, crap, you mentioned the freaking cult people and then the why it's so quiet, and then you said, oh, be careful going around at night, and I'm like, oh, Rory does not want to do that, but the other one's okay with that. If you got, did I ever show you guys what the other one looks like? Or Rory's, well, I guess this isn't Rory, but the other personality looks like right now. Did I show you guys what he looks like?
I've seen it, but I don't think you ever posted it like here.
In here. Okay, this is more for Felly and Alex. Then I have to find the post then.
Yeah, please.
Because Rory's currently not wearing his veil. He is wearing a mask. But it's not Rory. It's the other personality more so. The real version of him, basically, that everyone else doesn't know.
Is Rory evil?
I don't know. You be the judge.
Evaluate it.
Oh, cunty.
And this is just him in his normal pose. Look, he got the angry eyes. It's not Rory. It's totally different. Look, he looks so angry.
Sick. I love his design.
Oh, I don't. Okay, so like that thing is supposed to like be attached. The black part's supposed to be attached to the shirt. It clipped weird, so I don't know. So it's supposed to look more like a long jacket. It just didn't fully connect. So, but yeah, he's currently running around like this right now,
Very good.
and his hair is tied up in a ponytail. Just the ponytail doesn't show. So.
Dude, this party has like two incredibly cunty characters and then two incredibly crusty masks.
You're telling me you don't think Gurn serves?
Yeah. Okay. Two cunty, one giving butch cunt, and then just one old man.
Fair.
When you said that, I'm like, does that mean Gurn's the old man?
Wait, Homer gives butch cunt? No, he just
A
gives
little bit, just a little bit.
Oh, you know,
I can
I
see that.
can.
A little
I
bit.
mean, if you
he
don't see
cleaned
it,
up,
that's
maybe.
cool. But like, it's sometimes like, have you seen how he like talks sometimes?
Also, fully through like the first half of that conversation where Homer just kept saying that he was looking for fun, Indy was fully convinced that you were trying to fuck.
Okay, so that's okay. So I was getting that vibes. I'm like, I thought he was looking for drugs. What is this?
Yeah, see, the thing that makes Homer, I think, really realistic to his character is that, his intelligence is pretty high, whereas I don't think my stat is. But something we both share in common is that we have severe memory issues, and we also have just like word expressing words, like making sense, which I think fits perfectly for his character.
Very
Um,
good.
Grand old time all around.
I did like him getting excited about being able to remember what Beetlejuice was.
Me too. I was hoping that it would. Honestly, I kind of like really feel like I do want to retcon aspects of his character. I'm just like not feeling it.
Yeah, fair.
Like the whole him being like I still want to have him like as a closeted bisexual, but I'm just not feeling the whole mildly like paradoxically homophobic. Maybe in like a like for himself, but like
I can
not
see that.
not broadly speaking. But he supports trans rights though. He will
More bums says trans rights.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna definitely keep that. But I just yeah, I don't think he's gonna really have a problem with other people, but himself, he'd be like, oh no.
I
But
was
that
I was getting the
internalized.
vibes that this is gonna be one of those things where he's learning more and he feels a little more comfortable with things. That being said, like
Also, like
the denial's still
in this
there.
city, right? There are couples where it's like a fucking human and like a cockroach person. no one really gives a shit about sexuality here.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't someone wonder? No, I thought I was like, didn't we ask about something in the bar, like if those people were together or something? Or did I imagine that?
Who?
I don't remember. I just remember someone made a big. No, or maybe I was just doing that internally in my head. That like someone was making a big assumption like if those people were together. It was when Echo was flirting with Timber. I was trying to make offhanded comments, but I don't think I made the. I'm not. I don't think I'm remembering the right one.
I mean, there was Echo seeing him with his sister that she thought he was with another girl.
Yeah, that was awkward. How was the secondhand embarrassment, Sparksy?
It was great.
Is Rory's other personality less autistic?
We'll see.
Oh god damn it.
Maybe
Get that
maybe
evil
it's more psychotic, if anything.
Okay.
Who knows? Who's to say? I was kind of more debating whether or not his other path is more sociopathic, which is more dangerous than psychopathic, oddly enough.
Psychopathy gets a bad rap.
Yeah, it's like it's interesting because while we associate them with being murderers and stuff like that, that's more of the sociopaths are the ones who are more dangerous. Because people who are psychopaths can learn how to deal with it and be respectable members of society. It's the sociopaths they have to worry about because their respectable parts of society is basically being a CEO of something. Because if you're sociopath, that means you're really good at running a company because you don't care about other people.
Huh. I guess that's true.
Meanwhile, being a psychopath kind of lets you at least learn how to deal with other people in a not as emotionally in tuned way. So psychopaths are generally good leaders and are good at evaluating things as a whole and what works better on a whole and more logically than sociopaths. Sociopaths always regard things in a group and like setting thing and what, but how will benefit them. It's a very weird like dichotomy of the assumptions with it.
And it's also psychopathy is like if you're looking at purely the like DSM style definition of it being an actual diagnosis. Sociopathy actually isn't. It's just kind of a colloquial sort of term for low empathy people.
Yeah. I love psychology, but I also hate when I learned it. I kept inferencing everything from my friends and stuff like that.
Psychoanalyzing people.
Very bad thing to do, but I couldn't help it for the longest time.
Yeah. No, it'd be like that.
Combined with the fact that I also like doing like um cartomancy and all that fun stuff, pseudoscience stuff. But it is one of those things where like there is some grounding in it because it does if you apply some psychology and the fact that humans love patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So and I like analyzing things, some which
I
kind
like
of makes it
noticing
weird.
things. I love patterns. I love making connections.
Mm-hmm. But it's just a lot of fun, and I feel like people think it's weird that I think analyzing things is fun.
Nah. Oh, actually, it's funny because I saved this just because I really liked the little bit that they did, but yeah, this clip, posting it in the general chat.
Oh,
Where are you
That's
putting
just
it?
kind of my
The unicorn discrepancy.
good night, stream. Bye bye.